welcome to Oddballs Odd Repair. So why would I name a repair business like that? Well, the oddball fits my personality type. I am not the average character. I've spent my 53 years, instead of trying to find as much leisure as I could involve myself in, I spent much of it learning a lot of different skill sets. I've been a DIY person for all of my life. Even in the 5th grade, I was featured on the front page of the Highland Newsletter because I built my own rocket launcher in the 5th grade when I had Ms. Munkin and we built rockets. She said that there was a possibility that we wouldn't all be able to get to launch our rockets. So I decided I was going to build my own launch pad, and that way I could make sure that I got to launch my rocket. So they had actually put a picture of it on the front page of the Highland Newsletter and talked a little bit about it. And it was comical because everybody had thought that I had to have had help on that. And as a matter of fact, my parents didn't even know that I was doing it. So I got in a little bit of trouble for using one of Mom's Tupperware storage containers for the housing. And I grabbed a pull switch out of Dad's little box of switches that I used for the switch. And just various other things. I mean, I didn't get in a bunch of trouble or nothing, but you can imagine how a mother might feel if she finds out that her nice Tupperware container has now got holes drilled in it and hooked up to launch a rocket. So, you know, I'm quite an oddball. As far as the odd repair, it's because I can't sit here and give you a list of things I can repair, because I've gotten experience throughout my life repairing just a gambit of things. So the best thing is if you got something odd, if you got something small that needs repaired, just send me a message or give me a call. Let me know what it is, and I will always be honest with you as to whether or not I think that I have the skills to repair it. If I don't have the skills to repair it, I'll be honest with you, because I don't want to break something even more than it's already broken trying to fix it for you. So what I've got for you today, this is actually mine. This is a wireless thermostat. This is the remote control for it. And what it is space heaters are notorious. The thermostats on them are a joke. Trying to use the thermostat on a space heater, you're either going to freeze yourself out or burn yourself out, one of the two. And so what this does is there's plugins that you plug into the wall, and then you just turn your space heaters all the way up on high, and you plug it into the outlet that you plug into the wall. And this will wirelessly transmit when that heater needs to go on and off. Of course, there's a temperature sensor inside of here, and this is the way we've been using space heaters for, gosh, many years, 6, maybe. I don't know how many years for sure, but it's been quite a while that we've been using these, and I swear by them. They're incredible. So anyway, you might notice that it got a label on there. 4 degrees high, and that's because the ambient temperature reading on this unit works out to be about 4 degrees higher than what it really is. And so I put that on there so I would remember that, so I would know when adjusting it and whatnot that, yep, I've got to go a little higher than what you would think you would need to go, you know. 72 is room temperature, and so if you set this thing to 72, you're probably going to wind up with an ambient temperature of about 68 because it's about 4 degrees high. So that's why that's written on there. What I'm going to get to the bottom of is, have you ever had one of those remote controls to where you got to just sit there and mash on the buttons to get it to register? Right. Well, that's essentially what these two buttons are. Same thing as what's on most common TV remotes or anything else. Yes, if you've got a remote control that the buttons don't want to register when you push it, I can most certainly fix that. Very simple fix, and in fact, I'm going to show you how to fix it here. If you don't want to try to attempt to fix it yourself, feel free to contact me. So anyway, I know this little stand comes off rather easily because it falls off on me all the time. As you see on the back, I've also got written 4 degrees high. And so I'm going to open up the battery compartment. I'm actually going to snake out the battery cover too, because I just want to make sure I've got a clear opening for everything. And I'm going to remove the batteries out here. And I can see that there's 2 screws down there. Let me get a close look here. They're Phillips. And then I know there's a screw under this label here. So let's grab our Phillips screwdriver here. pull these two bottom ones out first. Never had this apart, so. And there's one right there, so you can either try to peel the label up or you can poke through it. I'm going to try the peel method first. Yep, that ain't working. So we're going to do the poke method. Oh, I lost one of my Q-tips. That's okay. I probably only need one. Hey, we found the screw. Hey, let's get this screw out of here. Let's see if we can get this housing to split apart real quick. Maybe, maybe. Not quite sure how it's all going to come apart, so I want to be mindful of that. Okay, so we got where we need to get. Right here. So you've got your button contacts right there. And then you've got what you push right there. And make sure we know on there. Okay. I wanted to set that back in there and make sure I had it the right direction. So this is such a super simple fix. And I'm just going to use isopropyl alcohol. As you can see, I've got the 99%. I kind of prefer that. And I've just got a little bitty bottle cap here. And I'm just going to pour a little bit of this isopropyl alcohol into the bottle cap like that. And then I'm going to take the one that didn't fly off over onto the floor. And I'm just going to dip it into the alcohol to get it wet. And I'm just going to rubby on those contacts with that isopropyl alcohol. Real simple. There's nothing to it at all. And I'm going to turn around and I'm going to do the same on this side of the unit as well. I'm just going to rub those with the alcohol. And I'll show you here. If you look at the tip of that Q-tip, if it's focusing, my wireless connection to my tablet keeps disappearing on me. But you can see that there's some dirt there, black stuff on the end of it, not dirt, but. So we're going to take the dry end of the Q-tip now, and we're just going to wipe the contacts just like that. We want to make sure we get those dry. Okay. Going to do the same again on this side. We're just going to use the Q-tip and get down in there and make sure we get her dry. Just like that. Nothing to it, nothing to it. And then we're simply going to put the housing back together. That's simple enough, huh? And we're going to replace our screws. And that one's probably still in there. One more. Let me set this out of the way before I knock it all over the place. Looks like I've already done that a little bit. Probably should have put the cap back on the alcohol immediately after I got done pouring it, but I didn't because, you know. Okay. I do need to magnetize my screwdriver a little more. There we go. I've got a magnet in my big screwdriver set that's made for magnetizing and demagnetizing screwdriver tips. I love that thing. Okay, so let's go ahead and put our battery door on and get that out of the way real quick before we go fighting with batteries. There you go, just like that. And then put that battery in, put that battery in, close the battery housing, put the little goofy stand thing back, and it takes it a little while to get all whatever you want to call it recognized, if you will, but we are there now, and it is okay. The unit is off, and I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but It's hard to me. Let me come around there so I can see what you're seeing. Okay, so the way this works is you can just turn them on, all the heaters at one time, just turn them on, just like a light switch, by just pressing the on button, which is on the left on this. And so you just press the on button and let go. And actually I'm pressing it too long, I believe. Oh, that's because I've got the unit on. I'm being an idiot. Hang on, let me hold this and turn it off. There we go. Now that function will work. So it says off right there. You may not be able to read that. But if you just give it a tap, it kicks on. But you see how quickly, no problem at all, just boom. Okay, I used to have to really mash this down to get it to work. And now I'm going to hold it to turn it on, the system on. And then, as you can see, it says it's 80 degrees in here. That's because I've had it in my hand and holding it. But you'll see that with easy button pushes, I can now adjust the temperature. So it's fixed. It's really that simple. So if you've got a remote that is getting really hard to push the buttons on, that is the way to fix it. Again, if you don't want to tackle that particular task yourself, feel free to contact me at Oddballs Odd Repair, and we will be happy to get you taken care of. I hope you have a wonderful day. Shalom.